Now let's get into the general formatting of the text of your lab report. First of all, take the time to make formulas look nice. Be sure to use subscripts and superscripts whenever you have formulas. Don't use one typeface. Shown to the right are two examples of writing chemical reactions. In the top example, the student has not taken the time to make stoichiometric coefficients in the chemical formulas look nice. While what is written is factually correct, beneath it is a well-formulated chemical formula. The correct formatting looks much nicer and makes the report look more professional. Taking time to make the formatting of formulas look nice implies to your professor that you took the time with the lab report, looked through it carefully, and probably spent enough time working on the report. Let's now take a look at the effects of text formatting on the appearance of the report. These two examples have the exact same text, but they have different formats. You should take the time to make headers stand out through the use of bold letters. In the example to the right, it is much easier to identify where the conclusion section begins. While it's easy to see without the bold formatting in the example, in a 4 to 5 page report, finding sections could be very difficult if the section headers aren't properly displayed. Also, use consistent formatting. You can see in the top example to the right that the author has used multiple formats in the paragraph, making it look clumsy. In contrast, the bottom example has consistent formatting and it looks more professional. The entire document should be double-spaced, even for figures and captions. This makes the document easy to read and makes inserting editing marks much easier. Use size 12 font and Times New Roman throughout the whole paper, though it's okay to use Arial or Helvetica in the text of figures or graphs. As the top example shows, switching the formatting of the text makes the text look sloppy. You should also use 1-inch margins. The default setting in Word is 1.5 inches, so you will need to adjust this under the Page Layout ribbon in Margins. You should also include page numbers in your lab report and place them either on the top right or the bottom center of the page. This can be done under the Insert ribbon with the page number option. So what about what's written? Spell out numbers and symbols in the title of your report and list that number or symbol as part of a chemical formula. For example, if we had 3 titrations, you would say 3 and not show the number 3. But if you had a chemical in the title, such as 2-hexanol, the 2 would be written as 2. You should write in the past tense unless you're describing physical properties of something. That is because you're reporting on an experiment that was performed in the past. You're not currently performing it. However, physical properties are true regardless of the time that they are being observed, so they should be written in the present tense. For example, when describing the color of a dye, you should say the color of the dye is blue, not the color was blue, unless a color change was observed during the experiment, at which point the past tense is appropriate for the initial color of the dye. Be sure to define abbreviations before using them, otherwise the reader won't know what you're referring to. This is because different scientific fields use different acronyms and abbreviations, some of which may overlap even though they have different meanings. For example, if I said AM, you might think I'm referring to morning hours such as 7 a.m. However, someone may also take AM to mean amplitude modulation, which refers to radio waves such as an AM radio station. By specifying the meaning of the abbreviation before using the abbreviation, you can eliminate this ambiguity. In general, don't start sentences with numbers or symbols. If you have to start with a symbol, spell it out, such as alpha-lactam-bumin. But if you have a number such as a mass or a temperature, you don't have to spell it out. Don't start sentences with references to figures, tables, or graphs. For example, if you are referring to Figure 1 in a report, give a description of the data and then reference the figure, but don't start by saying Figure 1 shows.